people will stop me and say, congratulations on your quarter, and I say thank you. But what I'm really thinking is, that quarter was baked 3 years ago.
The biggest problem isn't thinking 2 to 3 years ahead, it's right now. It's that you're lacking momentum right now in your business.
When I was playing chess in junior high school, one of the early lessons I learned was a bad plan is still always better than no plan at all.
Right.
Rise and shine, it's Entspresso time.
I wake up every morning.
Espresso, keep me going.
I wake up every morning.
Hey, it's Carmichael, and this channel is created to help you overcome the #1 challenge that is holding you back, a lack of belief in yourself. You watch these videos because you know there's something more inside you too. You have Michael Jordan level talent at something. So let's start your day off right together. Grab your coffee and sip on today's message from Jeff Bezos. Also, if you want to have more self-love and confidence, check out my 254 series. They're free. The links to join are in the description below.
The stress primarily comes from not taking action.
If everything has to work in 2 to 3 years, then that limits what you can do.
I always tell people, sometimes I get, we'll have a good quarterly conference call or something, and Wall Street will like our quarterly results, and people will stop me and say, congratulations on your quarter, and I say thank you. But what I'm really thinking is, that quarter was baked 3 years ago. Right now, I'm working on a quarter that's going to reveal itself in 2021 sometime. And that's what you need to be doing. You need to be out sort of, 2 or 3 years in advance. And and then why do I need to make 100 decisions today? If I make like 3 good decisions a day, that's enough. And they should just be as high quality as I can make them.
If you want to be thinking 2 to 3 years ahead and still have success today, then you need to make sure that you have existing momentum right now. Entrepreneurs, we're dreamers. We love thinking about what we can make 2 to 3 years down the line. It's an easy place for us to live. The biggest problem isn't thinking 2 to 3 years ahead, it's right now. It's that you're lacking momentum right now in your business. You're a genius. The only thing you're missing is momentum. So me personally, I've actually tried to go and do the opposite of this advice most of the time. It's so easy to live 2 to 3 years out that I want to now focus on mission. What am I trying to accomplish? The big thing that's never going to happen, right? I want to solve the world's biggest problem. I don't think people believe in themselves enough, and that's what I wake up every day trying to help solve, but it will never happen. And then what am I doing right now? As opposed to getting lost in what I can do in 2 to 3 years, because again, I think it's so easy just to live there and then not bring it back to what am I doing today to build momentum. So I've really tried to teach myself that as soon as I get an idea for something, to start building momentum around it, not to get stuck in planning mode, right? It's easy to get stuck in planning mode. Here's where I want the plan to be in 2 to 3 years. You have to do. Jeff Bezos can think about where he wants to be in 2 to 3 years because he has an army of people doing work right now, building momentum on what's currently happening. If you're a solo entrepreneur and you're just living in the future and nothing's happening right now, you're never going to build that future. So as soon as you get an idea, at least for me, I've been trying to teach myself, I take immediate action towards it. It could be something really big. It could be something like when I wanted to build a house, I just decided I'm going to build a house, and then a year later I had my house built, right? From finding a dead property that was empty to excavating to building a 5,000 square foot modern home. Within a year, I had my home built from just having the concept and the idea, right? Teach yourself that as soon as you get an idea, you don't just sit, you don't just plan, you don't just tinker, you get out into the world and start doing. How do you actually do that? I'm going to give you a 3-step process that I think will help. Step number 1 is map your actions to your ambitions. You have big ambitions. This is not the problem. Most people don't have big ambitions. Most people driving home at night, hating their life, hating their job, hating what they're coming home to, like they don't have big ambitions for themselves. They hate their life. You have ambitions for yourself, but you have to map it with your actions. Your actions must map to your ambition. So if you looked at your calendar and you looked at what you're going to get done this week, right, from a high level, look at whatever day is today for you watching this video until the next week, the next 7 days. Look at your pull it out, look at your calendar and see if I did the things that are in my calendar, would I be moving closer to achieving my ambitions or not? And for too many people, it's a no. for too many people, it's just barely scraping by. There's not enough momentum being built. And so your ambitions just remain dreams and ambitions instead of actually being able to come to fruition. And so you have to look at, how can I map my actions to my ambitions? Even if you have a full-time job, even if you have kids, even if you have all of these things that are taking demands from your time, you have to make sure that every day you're spending time working towards accomplishing your ambitions. You can't let another week go by without you making progress towards accomplishing your goals. Otherwise, you will never accomplish your goals. And that's the worst for an entrepreneur dreamer, because you're sitting there at home dreaming these great ideas of where you could be in the future, knowing that you're capable of doing it, knowing that that thing actually will serve the world and help people, and yet nothing's happening, not consistently. And so that it's almost like a torture inside yourself, knowing that this thing could be created, but with nothing actually happening on it, it just eats you up. And so you have to map your actions to your ambitions every single week, every single day, something, no matter how small. You film one video, you make one phone call, you send out 2 emails. Something has to happen to build momentum towards your dreams. Otherwise, they will remain dreams and never come to fruition. Step number 2 is go from idea to action. As soon as you get an idea, like I talked about with my story, you start building immediate traction towards it. My wife today said that she wanted to start to meditate. My initial reaction was, great, right now, go meditate. Nina, go meditate. Like, don't wait until tomorrow. The worst thing you can do, and I'm smiling because Nina's listening on this. The worst thing you can do, the worst thing is teach yourself, I've got a great idea. I want to start doing this. And then wait until tomorrow to do it. It's the worst thing you can do. Don't teach yourself that. Unless it's absolutely required, right? But then still find a way to get some kind of small momentum today. My wife needs to go meditate today because she came up with that idea, right? Whatever your idea is, you come up with something great. Maybe it's after watching this video or something else that happened to you today. You get the idea, you have to go do something about it. Teach yourself that you are a genius, that your ideas are amazing, that the fact that it came into your head means that it's great and deserves attention, and go do it. It doesn't have to take you very long. It doesn't mean you throw away the whole day just to work on this one thing, although maybe if you get in the zone, it's actually the best thing that you can do today. But you have to show yourself, you have to teach yourself that when you get an idea, you do something about it, because otherwise you reinforce the negative thought process. You reinforce the process of thinking where you say, I come up with an idea and I don't do something about it. I come up with an idea and again, I don't do something about it. You're teaching yourself not to trust your ideas. You're teaching yourself that the next idea you come up with, you're not going to do anything about it, because that's been your pattern. You need to break the pattern. When you come up with an idea, you take immediate action towards it. It'll change your life. And step number 3 is win the morning. People don't wake up feeling motivated, confident, alive. I didn't wake up today and be like, yeah, oh my God, what another day. I gotta make some YouTube videos. I'm amazing. Life is amazing. The world is amazing. That's not how I wake up. That's not how anybody wakes up. And so you have to win the morning. You have to figure out what the thing is that makes you come alive, that makes you feel bold, that makes you feel unstoppable, and put that into your morning routine. Successful people don't wake up on fire, motivated, but they create routines and schedules for themselves that demand that they bring the best of themselves every day. That's the difference. There's not much else of difference. You've heard the expressions, everybody puts the pants on one leg at a time. It's the same thing. Jeff Bezos, Bill Gates, whoever you want to look at, they're still putting their pants on one leg at a time. They're still waking up, in some cases tired, not feeling motivated, not having tons of energy, but then they demand that of themselves through winning the morning. That's the difference between successful people and people who don't go off and achieve their ambitions. So what is the thing that you need to do to win the morning every single day and stay consistent on it, so you're not on this, one day I do it and then I fall back down. Then the next day I do it and then I fall back down. And I wait a week and then I try it again, right? It's too much of a roller coaster up and down. Where if every day you did the thing that made you feel bold, powerful, confident, alive, you won the morning every single day, your life, I promise you, will look dramatically different 3 months, 6 months, 12 months from today. Now I've got a really special bonus clip that I think you're gonna enjoy. But before that, question of the day, I wanna know, what is the one thing that you've been sitting on for too long that needs to take immediate action on right now? Let me know down in the comments below. And if you're still watching this video, you made it this far and you promised to take some action, commit to it, give me a hashtag believe down in the comments as well. I wanna celebrate you.
I think there definitely are things that one can iterate on, but the core thing is to have a great product. And then you can always improve and iterate on that in all sorts of ways. And I think, even in the tech industry, what's striking is how weak on a quantitative basis so many of the successful companies were. It was just they had a great product, and then years later they were able to optimize it in all sorts of ways. Whereas if you're just trying to optimize and you don't have a great product, I think that rarely works. I think it's always worth asking, where you're going to go with this business. And so I think we're always focused on very short time horizons because you have to figure out a way to get through the next month, the next quarter. How do you get some customers? How do you track? But it's always worth thinking ahead, 5 to 10 years. Why will this be a really valuable business in 5 to 10 years? And how's the competitive landscape going to develop? How's technology going to develop? How's the world going to develop? These are hard questions to answer, but I think the great entrepreneurs that I know always have some perspective on it, and it might be wrong, but it's just this is what's going to happen, and then it's sort of well reasoned, and so you have a plan. It's when I was playing chess, in junior high school, one of the early lessons I learned was a bad plan is still always better than no plan at all.
Right.
And so, have a plan. You can always change it, but don't just pretend that you have no clue about what's going to happen and that everything about the future is random. If you sort of say that everything's random and out of your control, that's the way you set yourself up for failure.
If you want Jeff Bezos' best advice for taking risks, check out the video right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
One of the precursors, one of the foundational things to being able to take risk is to have had some kind of support